Hi everyone, my name is Tessa and I welcome you to my first video. This channel has been a dream a long time in the making, so I am grateful that we are finally here together making it a reality. And speaking of that, this channel is actually going to focus all on personal growth and becoming the person that I want to be by focusing on the things that make me happy, healthy, and wealthy. And what better time to focus on those things than in the new year? So happy 2025, everyone. I'm kind of still in my Christmas spirit, but it is the new year and we have some resolutions to make. So let's get into it. I was actually originally inspired to create this YouTube channel by one of my favorite influencers on Instagram, who posted that her New Year's resolution last year in 2024 was to create more lore for herself. And I thought that was just like the cutest idea ever, and she posted this montage of all these things that she did throughout the year to give herself more lore. If you're not familiar with that word, just more backstory, more memories basically. And I wanted to do something very similar to that, but to be fair, the idea of creating more lore just for the sake of creating more lore, just being able to say I've done things, felt a little exhausting to me. Felt like a lot of work for not much of a reason. So I did want to put purpose behind it, and so I came up with the idea that my New Year's resolution is going to be doing things outside of my comfort zone. And while this was a great idea and a concept that I liked to think about, I don't know how serious I was actually going to pursue it until I made the fatal mistake of telling my therapist that that was my New Year's resolution. And so when she asked for some examples of things that I want to do that are outside of my comfort zone, of course I told her starting a YouTube channel would be really cool. And guess what she did? She canceled my next 2 sessions and told me I can't come back without a YouTube channel started. So here we are, because I'm scared to disappoint Natalie. So I hope I'm making her proud with this. But along with creating this YouTube channel, I have a few other things in mind that I will be doing throughout the year and making videos on, some of which include getting a haircut, traveling across the country on a sales trip with my company, traveling to a new country, checking many things off of my bucket list. Speaking of which, I do have one physical goal on my bucket list that I'm going to be focusing on extra hard this year. A big goal that I have for myself this year in terms of being healthy is to run a mile in 9 minutes and 30 seconds. And I know that's probably not too impressive to all of you who grew up being super physical and active your whole life, but that is going to be a big deal to me. And the reason why is because, unlike most of you, I did not grow up in traditional PE throughout school. I actually was diagnosed with a heart condition that put me into a special PE class throughout all of my years through grade school. So I never got the the weekly mile run that most of you grew up doing. I never got graded on running, and I never really ran at all. I hated it. I didn't think I was good at it, and I didn't think it was good for me. But now that I'm older, I've had 22 years of living in this body and learning what's good for me, what's not, and how to tell when I'm approaching that line. And I'm in a place now where I am able to push myself physically, and I know when to stop and when I'm pushing myself too hard, but that's not gonna stop me from trying new things. And one of those new things is gonna be to run a mile in 9 minutes and 30 seconds. The reason I came up with 9 minutes and 30 seconds is because I asked ChatGPT what the classic or the normal mile time for a girl my age would be, and that's what it told me. As of right now, just a couple weeks ago, I did run a mile as fast as I could just to see kind of where I'm starting at, and I am at 12 minutes and 25 seconds, which, to be honest, I'm kind of embarrassed by because it's quite a bit of ways from 9:30, so I feel like maybe I could be doing a lot better and I'm just not. If you are around that 12-minute, 25-second mark, and you are not ashamed of that like I kind of am, I would really appreciate it if you could tell me that, make me feel a little bit better, and remind me that that is normal. That's where I'm at, that's where a lot of other people are at, I'm sure, as well. So let me know in the comments if that's kind of where you're at in terms of running. But by the end of the year, I would like to see myself get to 9:30. I would be super proud of myself if I was able to accomplish that, and I'm gonna be putting in the work to do it. I'm gonna be going to the gym and running quite frequently, and I'm gonna be documenting all of it so we can track my progress together. Along with running a 9:30 mile, I have a couple other goals in mind in terms of the healthy mindset that I would like to focus on in 2025. And I believe that health and wellness goes so far beyond the calories that come in and the calories that go out. So losing weight, exercising, eating healthy, none of that is really important to me this year. So running the 9:30 mile is not something that I'm doing to lose weight, although I heard that running is really good for that. Okay, see, this is the problem. This is the problem. Because why do I just caught myself, why do I know that running is good for losing weight? Because I see it on social media, which leads me directly into my next goal, which is to reduce screen time. I find myself in such a negative headspace when I spend too much time on social media, and especially as I am focusing on growing as a content creator and growing this YouTube channel and putting pressure on myself to stay up with the trends or whatever I think I have to do in order to accomplish these goals, I feel like I am going to be tempted to doom scroll. And that is not something that I want to do because it feeds me things that I don't care about, I don't want to know, and I think do harm me. This actually is something that I already monitor pretty well. I do take my screen time pretty seriously, and I want to make sure that I keep it low. So I'm not starting off too horrible. At least I think I'm not. I don't really know what is average. I am going to have my screen time pop up here because I'm recording on my phone. I can't look at it right now, but I think I'm around like 4-hour average daily, which I'm kind of okay with, because along with monitoring my screen time, I also want to monitor what I'm spending that time on. If it's all doom scrolling, if I'm on Instagram sitting there for 4 hours a day, yeah, that's horrible. That is horrible. We would want to cut that out. But I do find myself going on my phone for more meaningful purposes, and that's kind of okay with me. For example, I tutor virtually. So anytime that I'm looking at an online textbook for a student that I work with, who cares? That's my job. I get paid to do that. I'm helping somebody else. So things like that are fine with me. So that's why my goal this year is to monitor my screen time, not reduce it. And of course, the last category of things that we are focusing on in 2025 is building wealth. It is time to get rich. We're putting in the work, we're doing the hard things, and we're gonna build the wealth that we want to see for ourselves for years to come, or at least that's the plan. Of course, I have a very specific, detailed plan on how I'm going to accomplish this. If you know anything about me, you know that I am a planner. So I've got the details down, but just to go over the general game plan in this video, because I'm gonna save those for the next video, I am focusing on 3 main categories on building my wealth in 2025. The first one is going to be maxing out my Roth IRA. If you're unfamiliar with what that is, it is a retirement account that is offered to you. Roth IRAs are limited. In my age, tax bracket, year, etc., for me, I'm able to put $7,000 in this year, and that is what I plan to do. Hopefully, I can get that going pretty fast. I can fill it up, and then I don't have to deal with it for the rest of the year. The reason that we want to max this out, especially as we are young, I know most of you are probably college, high school age, you probably have not thought of retirement at all yet, maybe once or twice in your life. Certainly not doing anything to plan for it yet, but if you haven't already, I highly recommend opening up a retirement account and put as much money in there as you can, because time equals money. Say it with me, time equals money. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be doing is paying down my student loans. Notice I did not say paying off my student loans. That cannot be accomplished in 1 year, as much as I wish it could, because student loans stress me out honestly more than anything else in my life at this moment.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
But I am going to be paying them down. I'm trying right now to find the balance between investing in my future and paying off the debt of my past. I am working that out for my personal situation and what makes sense to me. Again, I can go more into detail on this in my next video if you're interested. But I am going to be paying them down more than the minimum monthly payment. How much more? Not quite sure yet, but I will let you know when I figure it out. And then my final thing is going to be start investing. And I know what you're thinking, Tessa, you just talked about a retirement account and investing in your Roth IRA. Aren't you already investing? Technically, yes. Retirement accounts are investing, but they are not liquid. And what that means is you can't just take the money out. Once you put money into your retirement account, you're not able to access it until around the age of 65, or else you get fined very heavily, which I do not want to deal with at all, ever. So we're just gonna tuck away that money until I'm 65 years old. But I do want to start investing in the stock market, which is liquid, which means I can take that cash out whenever I want. Not necessarily a good idea to take it out whenever you want, but at least you have the opportunity. And while I don't know too much about investing right now, I am working with a financial advisor who is giving me lots of information about it and who's going to guide me along on the path of getting started in the stock market. I would love to build wealth this year, but I'm also learning how to build wealth this year. Certainly not the expert at all, but we're gonna figure things out together and we're gonna do our best. So there you have it, my plan on becoming happy, healthy, and wealthy in 2025. If you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you could like, comment, and subscribe on this video to support me and the channel and your own personal growth journey, because if you watch these videos with me, we are going to be trying lots of new things together and we are going to be becoming the best versions of ourselves that we can be in 2025. So I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.